These questions that you ask yourself are the questions that the field of science called economics is trying to answer. Whether you are a producer, a distributor, or a consumer, you always encounter these questions on a daily basis. Apple reckons, shall I produce iPhone 11 in three variants? Bilang distributor naman ng mobile phone sa Philippine market, ilang libong units ng latest flagship ng Samsung at iPhone ang iyong aangkatin para sa mga Pilipino. And you as a consumer reckon, shall I buy a smartphone, laptop, or a desktop for college? Depende yan sa iyong budget. Kung malaki ang iyong pera, bilhin mo ang tatlo. Kung eksakto, piliin mo ang kailangan mo sa tatlo. Kung wala ka namang budget sa ngayon, pag-ipunan mo muna. So, what is economics? Economics is important because of the reality. That is called scarcity. Humans have needs and wants as stated in the Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs. These needs and wants are unlimited. Sadly, our natural resources are not. Whether as a producer, a distributor, or as a consumer, or from the government, business, and other sectors of the society, they should work together to ensure that the process of production, distribution, and consumption is smooth, organized, efficient, and most of all, sustainable. If not, countries and their citizens may face a problem of shortage, recession, or depression. This global recession was caused by a single event and started in one or two countries. In no time, it reached the different parts of the world and affected the lives of millions of people. This is Germany, the largest and strongest economy in Europe and the fourth in the world, an industrialized country that manufactures and exports vehicles and machineries such as BMW, Volkswagen, Siemens, and MAN. Aside from machineries and equipment, you are probably aware of the German global brands like Adidas, Puma, Nivea, Dove, Boss, Bayer, and Deutsche Bank. The United States of America is the number one economic superpower for more than a century now. Though China has overtaken the USA when it comes to the purchasing power parity, the US remains to be the biggest in nominal GDP with $22 trillion. That's a 6 trillion more than China, the second in ranking. And as the sole leader in the fourth industrial revolution, the economy of the USA is expected to grow leaps and bounds in the coming years. This is Saudi Arabia. She has the world's biggest reserve of petroleum products such as gasoline and diesel. The oil is a capital good that each and every country needs as their source of energy. With that being said, Saudi Arabia and Iran are major players in the world economy. Japan is the world's third largest producer of automotive vehicles and also the third largest economy. She is an industrialized country that manufactures and exports advanced manufacturing solutions. With regards to Japanese global brands, you need not look far. Those brands are the appliances and vehicles in your respective homes and garages. Some of them are Panasonic, Sony, Casio, Nissan, Honda, Suzuki, and Toyota. This is Thailand. This is Indonesia. They are powerhouse when it comes to agricultural driven economy. These countries grow, process and export crops that are of international standard. They are at the forefront in agribusiness. This is the Philippines, one of the 11 countries in Southeast Asia. How is the Philippines doing in the global economy? What are her strengths and weaknesses in the global arena? Let's discover it today. Whether a country is industrialized and produces machineries and equipment, or an agricultural country that produces 33% of the world's rice production, the economies of these countries have economic concerns that need to be addressed constantly to ensure that the maximum output is achieved. In Asian societies, rice is a staple food. Naturally, producers will produce rice and other crops considered as needs and wants of their citizens. In Europe, potatoes and bread are abundantly produced because it matches the available resources of the region. Agriculture is a complex industry. In the Philippines, its three sectors are farming, livestock, and fishing. During ancient times, our ancestors were at the mercy of geography, so they were contented with subsistence farming. At the dawn of agricultural revolution, farming villages were able to produce surplus, hence traded them with the neighboring settlement. In no time, civilizations emerged. Fast forward to the 21st century. Countries which were once dependent on the traditional way of doing agriculture are now making leaps and bounds because of technology. Technological advancement has enabled Thailand and Japan to produce off-season crops. The International Rice Research Institute, located at Philcoa, is managed by Filipino scientists. The institution develops rice species and hybrids to help the growing population of the world. Because of scarcity, resources should not be wasted but maximized. Producers should take into considerations factors like the most essential needs of the people, followed by their wants. With this planning mechanism, shortages or surpluses can be avoided. One of the factors of production is labor. In connection to the question, how will it be produced? The workers play an important role in this process. It is the physical and mental skills of the workers that transform raw materials into goods and services with the help of physical and financial capital. Also, Globalization has made it possible for a foreign company to operate a business in another country through outsourcing or offshoring. Nauso na din ang ODM brands na ang ibig sabihin ay Original Design Manufacturer. A company designs and produces a product and it will be sold to other firms for rebranding and selling. Ang daming mga local brands ngayon sa ating merkado ang kumukuha ng produktong ibinebenta sa mga ODM. Nariyan ang CDR King, Cherry Mobile at marami pang tindahan na nagbebenta ng mga electronic equipment and gadgets. Ang Nokia brand ng cellphone, simula ng taong 2016 hanggang ngayon ay sa ODM na din umaasa. Mayroon ding OEM na ang ibig sabihin ay Original Equipment Manufacturer. Kung bubuksan mo ang iyong iPhone, isang sikat na tatak ng telepono mula sa Amerika, ang mga bahagi nito tulad ng LCD, baterya at iba pa ay gawa ng mga OEM sa China, Japan at South Korea. Maaari din na ang produktong ito ay assembled naman sa Vietnam. You see, globalization has transformed trading into a complex phenomenon involving several countries. Each and every one of us is a consumer. Even producers and distributors are part of the consumption process. One of the market mechanisms that affect this economic concern is the production cost. And with globalization and the advancement of technology, this concern can now be solved. Also, finding markets and distributing goods and services are easier than before. Take a look at the shipping industry, an industry that is involved in the distribution of goods, but at the same time, the ship or water vehicle itself is also a product. Do you know that more than 80% of the world trade is carried by sea? Shipbuilding industry is a global value chains. GVC refer to an international production sharing wherein the people and activities involved in the production come from various countries. The Philippines shipbuilding industry is one of the biggest in the world. For almost 2 decades now, it ranks fourth. The industry has two divisions: the commercial shipbuilding, which focuses on carrying commodities and finished products, and the offshore segment, which mainly focuses on exploration of waters, transfer of oil rigs and anchors in the petroleum industry. In 2015, this industry accounted for 2.6% of total exports, while the shipbuilding and repair raked $1.6 billion. From production, distribution, and consumption, each and every one of us has a role to play to preserve and protect the resources that the Mother Nature has gifted us. These resources are finite. As the world population approaches to 8 billion, so does the unlimited wants and needs of the people. The economic growth of a country is useless if the environment is in a sorry state. If we are to meet our present needs and wants, the future generation should be able to meet theirs as well. Sadly, the world is facing a global recession once again. The G7 nations, the USA, Germany, Canada, France, Italy, Japan, and the UK have entered into a recession. Soon, the economic problem will reach other regions. Political, economic, and socio-cultural effects will be felt all over the world, all because of a flu. With the GDP contracting 2% compared to the last period, let us take a look at the performance of the economy in the past 2 months with the following economic indicators. inflation rate, government spending, gross international reserves, and peso-dollar exchange rate. With the economy taking a nosedive in April, let's be hopeful that our third quarter is going to be green.